So DDPAI just released a new budget 4K dash camera called the DDPAI N5 Dual under the price bracket of 15,000 rupees. So this dash camera has a really impressive set of features, the most important being the radar motion detection, which DDPAI is actually using to market this camera, and it's also marketing as a good parking monitoring 4K dashcam. So what's this radar motion detection and how does this work, and is this camera worth your time and worth your money? Well, watch this video to find out everything you need to know about the DDPAI N5 Dual. You're watching Travel Tech. Let's get started. Alright, so DDPAI has silently launched a new 4K dashcam and I'm pretty excited to see this. I mean, this is the first time I'm taking a look at this dashcam and never even peeked into what are its features and stuff like that. So this is the N5 Dual and they have provided a direct indication that this is a 4K dashcam. You have the picture of the dashcam, looks pretty decent. I think the rear camera is more or less similar to most of the other rear cameras. On the back of the box, they have given a pictorial representation of the newly updated DDPAI app, supposed to be working very well on both platforms. And on one side, they have provided the features that this is a 4K UHD resolution, it is dual channel, it comes with night vision, built-in eMMC storage. Now this is a game changer, built-in GPS logger, super capacitor based. It has the 24/7 parking mode, which is an optional feature, AI motion detection and microwave radar detector. So this is something interesting and we need to check this out later on. So let's move on and open up the box and take a look at this super cool 4K dashcam by DDPAI. So as soon as you open up the box, you have this instruction sheet and it says important tips for iOS users. Please format the memory card in PC before first using the dashcam. For smooth app interface, apply the following settings. So it seems like DDPAI has taken note of many iOS users complaining that the app doesn't work properly, and they have provided a specific instruction sheet for iOS users. So this goes to show that DDPAI really cares about the customer feedback. So following that, you have this small file folder, and within this, as I guessed, a N5 Dual user guide. You have two electrostatic stickers, one for the front and one for the rear, and you have two separate spare 3M stickers for the front and the rear dashcam in case you are planning on changing the location of the dashcam. So let's keep this aside. First, let's jump in and take a look at the rear camera. So this is the rear camera. So on the one side, you have this LED notification light, a very similar design of the rear camera, and it does rotate about, how much should I say, 90 degrees. It makes a prominent clicking sound while rotating. You have this similar 4-pin connector as it comes with all the other rear cameras. So this is the USB power cable with a Type-C port. Now 2024 is here and almost all devices are going Type-C, and a Type-A port for the other end. So let's keep this here. Then you have the rear camera power cable, a 4-pin connector at one end and a 3.5mm connector which plugs in into the front dashcam. You have this wiring crowbar, similar one which we see in almost all dashcam boxes. This must be the car charger. Let's see if they have changed anything about this. Okay, so a DDPAI branded car charger with two distinctive USB ports, as you're seeing on the screen right now. It's good that they provided two USB ports, will be useful for many users. And finally, here is the guest of today's video, the N5 Dual 4K cam. At first impressions, this feels pretty heavy. I must say this feels more heavy than most of the other dash cams which I've held in my hand, and for the fact that this doesn't get a screen and this is just a normal form factor dashcam without a screen, it is quite sturdy, and I must say it is well built and gives you a very premium feeling when you hold this in your hand. It has this silver embossed prominent DDPAI logo at front, the lens of the camera at one side, and on the back you have this LED indicator, on top the Type-C USB port for the power and a rear camera port. And the dashcam itself is rotatable, as you are seeing on the screen right now. It can rotate a variable amount of degree to give you that proper angle towards the road. They provided the micro SD card slot at the other end towards the driver side, so that's very thoughtful of them, and it doesn't interfere with the power port. So there's a button here right next to the USB Type-C port. This probably is the power button. So that's a really cool design by DDPAI, and I'm really liking it a lot. So let's keep this dash cam here and take a quick look at its video quality. So before I begin showing you the video quality, here's a look at the most important features of this dash cam, the most important being the price point. This camera comes at a price of 13,999, which is about 14,000 rupees. And I've highlighted all the rest of the features on the video right now. You can just pause the video at any point of time and take a look at all of these features. These are some really impressive features for this price point, and among all of these, the most important one being the AI based radar motion detection. Now what's this radar motion detection and how does it work? Let's take a look. The radar motion detection works from a separate module called as the radar module, which you have to purchase separately from the dashcam. It doesn't come within the box. According to DDPAI, the AI millimeter wave radar monitors the vehicle's surroundings, and upon detection of any movement of any person, the camera automatically records videos up to 10 seconds. Now this so-called radar module covers about a distance of 3 meters from the front of the car and about 4 meters towards the rear of the car. So the radar motion detection is quite a unique feature which I haven't seen in any dashcam, and I'm really interested to see how this radar module performs in actual real world conditions and how well the parking monitoring works out of this module. I'll be bringing up a detailed video of this radar module as soon as it comes out in the market, and you'll get to watch it right here on Travel Tech. But until then, let's move on and take a look at its detailed video quality during daytime and nighttime, along with the number plate readability, and see if this camera is worth your money. Let's take a look. So starting off by showing you the number plate readability of the N5 Dual. So here's a snapshot during daytime, and you can see a Maruti Swift Desire right in front of my car, about a distance of 25 to 30 feet. And if we take a look at its number plate, a pretty cool looking number plate read. Mild blurriness, maybe due to magnification. The color saturation levels and contrast do look decent, and considering this is at a higher distance, this kind of a number plate readability is quite expected from this budget dash cam. Moving on to the night sample, you can see a Hyundai Creta right in front of my car, about a distance of 5 to 10 feet. Now this is at a very short range, and if we zoom in on the number plate, a very impressive read indeed. Now do note that in this specific number plate read, the headlights of my car are more or less hitting the lower border of the number plate and not hitting them directly. Since this dashcam doesn't come with a Starvis 2 sensor, reading number plates under direct glare might be a little bit difficult. Moving on to the overall video quality of this dashcam during daytime, I have pointed out some important specifications. Now the front camera has a true 4K 3840x2160p resolution because it has a 8 megapixel camera. It records videos at 25 frames per second, and it has a bitrate of about 31,000 kbps. The file size of the front camera is about 225 MB per minute. The overall brightness, exposure, saturation, contrast levels do look more or less balanced, but I do feel it is slightly overexposed when compared with other 4K dash cameras, but it's completely usable and it does look really impressive, and more or less it can be used as a cinematic footage for your travel videos, for your vlogging, and for your YouTube videos as well. Moving on to the night footage, now do remember that this camera comes with a night viz tech, and I think it's really helping the camera get the most out of its night footage. Now whenever the car passes under the headlight, the camera tends to catch some dashboard reflection. You might need a CPL filter later on once it becomes available. The overall night footage is also very satisfactory for the price point, and I think this camera is doing a really good job, especially at giving out a very balanced night footage and also reducing the glare of the oncoming headlights, and the sensor seems to be well calibrated to put out a really good night footage quality. Moving on to the rear camera quality, on top you can see the daytime rear camera quality, and on the bottom is the nighttime quality. Now the rear camera is a 1080p Full HD camera at 25 frames per second. It has about 6000 kbps bitrate and a 45 MB per minute of file size. Again, the rear camera quality is also above par and better than what I had initially expected. The night footage also does seem to give out really good footage and doesn't have that traditional high exposed look of the various other rear dash cameras which we have seen till date. The The daytime footage does seem to miss out a bit on the contrast levels and even the saturation levels, but as an overall evidence-based footage, it does its job pretty well and just may not be suitable enough for your vlogging or for cinematic video purposes. So this camera does seem to offer a decent video quality for its price, and considering the various different features this camera comes with, it does seem to offer a good value for money. But there's another important aspect which you need to take a look at: the DDPAI app and all the in-app settings this camera gets once you get to install this in the car. So just take a look at this part of the video and all the detailed in-app settings, so you'll have a better idea of how you can use this camera to your own advantage. Let's take a look. So here is the DDPAI app, and I've currently connected the N5 Dual right here, and as you can see, the camera is live streaming. If I click on the flip camera button, the video flips to the rear camera and you can see the rear camera display on the screen. There are some other indicators as well on the display. You can check that out later. So let's head straight into the settings of the dashcam and let's show you the different settings of this N5 dual channel dashcam. So first of all, you have the speaker volume where you can increase or decrease the volume, just like that. Then you have the power on tone to control the tone when the dashcam turns on. Then you have the local voice control. You can enable or disable it, and if you just give the voice control, take photo. So as you just heard, the dashcam gave an audio notification and it just took a snapshot. So that's how you can control the camera using a voice control. Following that, you have the ADAS Intelligent Assist Reminder, and if I click on that, it says that ADAS, after starting for the first time or adjusting the installation position as required, the ADAS function will automatically complete the calibration when the vehicle speed is 50 km/h and above when the power is turned on. And after the calibration is successful, you can enjoy the ADAS function. So it is currently turned on, and the sensitivity you can set at 2 different levels, high and low. Following that, you have the advanced settings wherein the notification can be enabled for when the front car of your own car starts off or when the fatigue of your driving starts to affect you. So you have these two specific alerts given right here which you can enable or disable in regards to the ADAS. So let's head back. Following that, you have a rear lens screen flip left and right, so you can flip the rear camera screen left and right based on your convenience. Following that, you have AI.265 video encoding, which only the latest smartphones will probably support. Then you have the recording resolution, and within this you have two options, 4K and Full HD. No frame rate option is given there. Then you have the microphone recording. Basically it's the mic, you can enable or disable that. Then you have the timestamp option which you can enable or disable. Then you have the display speed option, which is going to display the speed of the car directly on the video. Following that, you have the duration of consecutive videos during shooting. If you click on that, you can select the minimum amount of duration or the maximum amount of duration you want the camera to record a video whenever it captures a photo. It's a minimum of 10 seconds up to 30 seconds. You can even turn off the feature completely. Then you have the collision sensitivity adjustment, and if you click on this, you have two different options, one for the driving mode and another for the parking monitoring mode. And if you enter the driving mode, you have a lot of sensitivity options for the collision sensor, starting from high, middle, and low. You can turn it off completely, or you can set a custom sensitivity as well. You can do this for both driving and parking monitoring. Then following that, if you have connected the camera using a parking monitoring kit or a hardwire kit, you get the following options. Enter after the vehicle has stalled. So you can select the type of parking monitoring feature you want. So either you can be a time-lapse video or an ordinary video or a sleep mode. So coming back, you have the parking monitoring duration, and if you click on that, you get the option of selecting the maximum video duration you want the parking monitoring to run. It can be a minimum of 12 hours up to a maximum of 48 hours. You have the middle option of 24 hours as well. Coming back to the main settings, you have the next option, which is the AI radar recognition. In order to enable this option, you need a separate accessory. This is the radar module package. This is currently not being sold. By the time of making this video, it will be probably available after another 2 to 3 weeks. So once you have purchased this separate accessory and plugged it in along with the camera, then you can enable or activate the AI radar recognition. So with the radar accessories, it can support the detection of abnormal people around the vehicle, which will wake up the recording. So now the option is blanked out because the separate accessory module is not installed. Following this, you have the vehicle battery protection feature. So this is a very important feature and most of you ask me about this specific feature, so do take a note of this. If I click on that, you can set the voltage at which you want the hardware kit to disconnect power to the dash cam. It can be as high as a 12.4 volts and a minimum of 11.8 volts. The middle is the 12 volt, which more or less is preferred most of the time in order to balance the parking monitoring duration and also to save the battery. So it has this vehicle battery protection feature built in within the app. Then lastly, you have the device Wi-Fi name, which you can change, the Wi-Fi password. Then you have the device storage option, wherein you can format the memory card. Then you have the about device option, which shows you the device model, version number and some other details. Then lastly, you have the delete device option in case you want to delete the device of the DDPAI app. So these are all the settings or the in-app settings for the N5 Dual. Let's move on to the next part of the video. So this was the entire detailed review of the DDPAI N5 Dual channel dashcam. This cam is available at a price of 13,999, that's about 14,000 rupees. And if you're interested in purchasing this dashcam, you'll find the link to purchase it right down below in the description. Do note that the radar module for this camera is not yet available in the market as of today. It's most likely to come into the market by the last week of April, after which you can buy it and enable the radar motion detection parking. Of course, as I said previously, I'll be bringing up a detailed review of the radar module as soon as it comes out. So to make sure that you do not miss that important video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button of Travel Tech, and also don't forget to like this video. Also smash that bell icon so that you get notified each time I upload a new video. If you have any doubts or queries regarding this cam, you can always write that down in the comments and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. So this was the video for today. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.